Greetings and welcome to this course tour. For this course tour, we're going to be looking at my course toolbox. Now, a few caveats before we get started. First, I've built the toolbox out in Blackboard course sites just because it's the LMS I have access to. I don't want you to get too caught up in the LMS though, because I want you to focus on the structure, the organization, and the content of this particular resource. Second, this course toolbox is very specific to me, the way I manage my courses, and it's very specific to this course itself. All of my courses have Toolbox in them, but what they contain might be slightly different depending on the needs of that course and those students. So with those caveats in mind, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you and my students are going to see is a Welcome to the Course Toolbox piece that's just going to really explain what this resource is and how to use it. From there, they're going to see a virtual bookshelf. This is going to contain the ebook for the class, so the textbook, and it's also going to contain any additional readings that might be useful. For this particular class, I've also included text that might be useful for a research project that they'll be working on in the semester. Next, you're going to see some folders. First folder you're going to see is a final project. One wonderful thing about a course toolbox is it allows you to house all of your materials in that toolbox, and then you can link out to them in the specific weeks. This means that if you have to make a change in one of the items, you don't have to hunt through your own course to try to find them and update all of those files individually. It also helps students because they also don't have to do that same process. They don't have to remember that you posted the first part of the assignment in week 2 and then the next part in week 3, etc., etc. So you can house it all here and then they can have access to it. For multi-week assignments and things that they need access throughout the entire semester, this is a really great way to do that. So let's go ahead and just click on Final Project, just take a look at what's in there. So when they click on this, they'll see a description of the final project, and they'll also see that the project is outlined week by week. This helps them to see the entire project and also drill down into specific elements of that project as they go. And they can see what that entire course narrative should look like for them. Next, I have some resources here about discussion boards. Discussion boards are a huge part of my courses, so it's important for me that they know how to do them and how to do them effectively. So here I just give an explanation of why I use them, and then I give them two examples, a unique example from a student and then a response from another student. And then I talk about what each of these students do well, both the original poster and the responder. I then also encourage multimedia on my discussion boards, and I give them a short tutorial here on how to do that. So all of that information, again, for the discussion boards is housed right here. Next, you'll see a couple other folders about position papers. Again, these are things that I want them to work on throughout the course of the semester. So I house all the prompts here and then drive all the traffic to this particular folder. Next, you'll see a couple of my resources. First, I do have tests in this class, so I've created several resources about taking exams, how to take timed exams, things they need to think about when they're taking tests online. So again, all that information is here for them that they can access whenever they need it before a test. And then lastly, I have an entire folder that is dedicated to campus resources. So resources on overcoming obstacles, the library, learning center, counseling service, IT, and Title IX help. So that, in a nutshell, is everything that is in my course toolbox. And again, it's just a great one-stop shop for you and for the students. It makes everyone's life a little bit easier, and it helps you clean up that course organization, which is so crucial to keeping all of us very happy and on task.